Bijou Phillips seen for first time since undergoing second life-saving kidney transplant. Bijou Phillips was seen for the first time since undergoing a life-saving kidney transplant earlier this month, as she stepped out with her boyfriend in Malibu, California on Sunday. The 46-year-old actress, who announced her transplant joy on Tuesday, July 8, appeared to be recovering well as she had an alfresco drink with partner Jamie Mazur, 45, who she has been dating for 2 years. Phillips wore a large sunhat, vest, top, and shorts as she chatted with Mazur, who is supermodel Alessandra Ambrosio's ex, during the beginning of her lengthy recovery process from the surgery. Per the Cleveland Clinic, kidney transplant patients spend an average of 3 days in the hospital before discharge.
Wet boots ruining your mornings? The job site boot dryer uses gentle, fanless heat to quietly dry boots, shoes, and gloves overnight, helping reduce dampness and odor. Want to check today's Amazon deal? Scan the QR code now or visit grabdeal.us/4 before it's gone.
The kidney transplant recovery time is about 6 weeks. With patients advised to rest at home, avoid lifting heavy objects for at least 8 weeks or longer after surgery, avoid driving for at least 6 weeks, and avoid contact sports. Phillips revealed her good news on Facebook with a beaming photo from her hospital bed as she recuperated from surgery. "I am beyond grateful to everyone who rushed in to help me, get checked to donate. You are all heroes," she gushed in her caption. Phillips had sought the public's help in finding a living donor earlier this year, after a kidney transplant she received in 2017 was rejected. While on dialysis, she told her social media followers in February that time is of the essence. In her post, the actress, who filed for divorce from her husband Danny Masterson in 2023 after he was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison for raping 2 women, explained that the selfless actions of her brother and others had played a role in her finally finding a healthy kidney. "My wonderful brother donated in the kidney exchange. He saved a life, and the life he saved had a special person donate for them, and then a few weeks later. The voucher program found me a perfect match," she gushed. "So close it's like I got the kidney from one of my parents." Earlier this year, Phillips emphasized just how dire her condition was by saying that she could be gone in a few days if she were to contract a kidney infection, but she was now able to enthuse about just how smoothly her surgery went. "The kidney exchange, voucher program, and his surgical skills," she continued. "He didn't cut the muscles, so I didn't even really need much pain medication at all, just Tylenol." The actress added that, at 5 days out, she felt just as good as she did 4 months after her 2017 transplant. "The technique he developed is brilliant, and he is a lifesaver," she said of her surgeon. Phillips concluded her post by thanking the amazing doctors and coordinators and nurses and everybody at UCLA Health who had been so wonderful and amazing, before leaving a special message for her brother, Aaron Wilson. In February, Phillips shared with Us Weekly that her brother had volunteered to donate a kidney to her, but doctors ultimately determined that he wasn't a close enough match. However, his donation to another person in need of a transplant got the ball rolling on Phillips's transplant search. In addition to her smiling photo from her hospital bed, she posted a sweet image of her brother Aaron by her side in the hospital. Phillips highlighted how her family was sticking by her side throughout her medical ordeal, with a sweet group selfie snapped by her 12-year-old daughter Fiona. The group included her half-sister, Wilson Phillips singer Chinna Phillips, as well as Chinna's husband, the actor Billy Baldwin. Phillips closed her post with a short video of herself grinning ear to ear as she revealed that she was feeling well enough to walk through a medical facility lobby while an employee pushed a wheelchair with a gorgeous flower bouquet ahead of her. Back in February, Phillips indicated that she could potentially die within days if she fell victim to a serious infection. "I've been immunosuppressed for so long, I could make it on dialysis for a couple years, or I could get an infection in my line tomorrow and be gone in a few days," she told Us Weekly. "I'm really hopeful, but it's an extremely urgent situation." Phillips has started dialysis again, a treatment intended for those suffering from kidney failure which cleans the blood. "I feel pretty good since I started dialysis. I was possibly going to be able to get a kidney from my brother Aaron Wilson, but he wasn't a match. He's maybe going to be able to get into the kidney exchange, but they're not sure." They've already denied him once, so he's gonna try again. Phillips said she was sort of hanging by a thread as her wait for a donor continued. I've needed a transplant for a year. My dad had a liver transplant when I was 10, and then when I was 20, he had to get on dialysis at UCLA. She said of her father, John Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas fame, who died in 2001 at 65. The medication you take when you're transplanted is very toxic to kidneys. So when you get a transplant heart or liver or kidney, within a decade, you're probably going to need a kidney transplant. My dad needed to get on dialysis after his liver transplant, and he got an infection in his line and was dead within 3 days because his immune system was so weak. So for me, getting on dialysis at UCLA was terrifying. In the wake of the ordeal, Phillips said she had found solace in religion. I'm in a little group that prays the rosary in the morning, right after drop-off. I'm going to try to do a traditional Lent, fasting on Wednesdays and Fridays, she said. A representative for Phillips debunked speculation that she was a member of Scientology to Us Weekly, telling the outlet that she was never a member of the church and that her sole link to it was her estranged husband Danny Masterson, a lifelong member. On a typical day, Phillips said she is able to retain a semblance of normalcy. Today I took my daughter to school, came home, had a little snack, went to dialysis, came home, and normally I would go do a couple things, grab her from school, take her if she has an after-school thing, or maybe go get an early dinner or come home and make dinner, she explained. If I don't have dialysis, I'm running errands and going to the grocery store. It's an issue that has been afflicting her since she was a baby. Phillips was born with underdeveloped kidneys and was on dialysis the first 3 months of her life with limited kidney function, according to Us Weekly. At 36, she received her first kidney transplant and was living a full life until her health took a turn for the worse in the past year. Before I got the call that my kidneys were failing again, I was playing shows and putting music out, she said. I was working on a new album. I was about to go make a movie in Bulgaria. I was so excited. It was such a good part, but I had to pull out because I got sick. Back in 2017, Phillips's then-husband Masterson publicly shared news of her kidney transplant, revealing on social media that she had received a life-saving donation and was beginning her recovery. In February, Phillips took to Instagram with an emotional plea for help, urging followers to share her message and consider becoming a living donor. She revealed she was under the care of a doctor at UCLA and was on dialysis again. A representative for the actress told Variety at the time that Phillips had been hospitalized for a second kidney transplant and was looking for a donor. Please read and share. And if you are interested in becoming a living donor, please go to the link in my bio and fill out a brief form. I am so grateful for your support. Phillips wrote on Instagram alongside baby photos of her daughter, Fiona Frances Masterson, whom she shares with Masterson. In one of the posts, Phillips detailed her lifelong battle with kidney disease, writing, I was born with underdeveloped kidneys and spent the first 3 months of life in the NICU on dialysis. In 2017, I received the incredible gift of a kidney from a dear friend. That transplant gave me 5 precious years to be a mother to my daughter. But I have had many complications since, including the BK virus, which led to both a cellular and antibody rejection. I am currently under care of Dr. Anjay Rastogi at UCLA and back on dialysis. Please help me find a living donor so that I can have more time with my daughter, family, and friends.